Once again, ciao, it's your boy M.K.S here, back in the video. I'm live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm going to be focusing on the Facebook screen, so anyone on YouTube comments, I won't be able to see your comments till after the video. Hopefully I will see them, but it will be after the video. I do normally click like on YouTube, I click like live comments, but for some reason they still don't show after the video. I don't know why. Normally, well, I don't tend to get that many, but on that note, please do comment whatever you like. I really appreciate the likes, any new subscribers, sharing the video, and I appreciate your views, both in terms of your viewership and in terms of your comments and opinions and whatever, that kind of thing. This is way later than scheduled. Time seems to have eluded me today, because I was spending a bit of time with my sister and brother-in-law, and also I went to watch a Celtic game at the pub with my dad. So yeah, by the time I got back, I was going to come back a bit earlier, but right after the game. But we went for another drink because although I don't drink alcohol, but I just have Coke. So I had quite a few. Not that type of Coke. I had a few. I'm had enough. I don't need to drink or take drugs, so I save my money on that. But I'm wasting my money on other things, I guess. But anyway, so yeah, I did want to spend a bit more time with my dad because I haven't seen him for a while. So I know, nice life story, but it's already past 11. I don't normally take this long to record part one, but it is what it is. But yeah, these are some of my plans for empowering autistic people on Saturdays. I hope you enjoy hope you enjoy these videos, and any autistic people and people who want to support autistic people, parents, families, carers, guardians, or whoever else connected with autism. These videos are for you, and so please do get involved in the comments. I hope you enjoy them, and I hope I'll enjoy coming up with some ideas and whatnot. So these are pointers number 1 to 10 as per usual. So here goes. So number 1, I normally say from a selfish point of view, number 1, I would love for autistic people to, I know I mentioned about play soccer or whatever you want to call it in Italy, and with Sampdoria, which is based in Genoa. I think about Sampdoria Saturdays, but also Sassuolo, Salernitana, and Italian soccer generally, trying to improve it, like helping Italians to practice more by playing more football there, more soccer there. So hopefully, basically, if autistic people, both in Italy itself, from the diaspora and from Italy and from around the world, go to play soccer in Italy, hopefully that will benefit them by helping them to practice. I have some very quirky ideas. Hopefully, it'll give them more practicing opportunities, basically, more people to practice against, more game time and that kind of thing, which will hopefully improve their soccer, which hopefully will benefit Italian soccer, but also give autistic people something to do. And I'd love to encourage autistic and other atypical people and people with things in common with me to benefit Italian soccer. Also, I'd love to support autistics to start up their own startups or startup projects, or start up in different areas, like getting to becoming singers, getting to science, or whatever it is. I'm mainly thinking of things that begin with S because it's Saturday. But yeah, I'd love to support startups as well. Thinking about the number 1. Well, I should probably think of one thing at a time, but I'm going to move on to point number 2. I'd love to find out stats about autistics, and if you know any, please share them in the comments. I know some of them are quite negative, but hopefully over time we can learn to change that. I'd also love to support autistics on social media, like YouTubers, TikTokers, and autistic content creators and influencers generally. Maybe they can support each other and that kind of thing. I know I keep mentioning this week that I've not been diagnosed with autism, but as an atypical person, if you like, we can support each other generally as well, like autistic, ADHD, dyslexic, and whatnot. Supporting each other on social media and supporting each other as social influencers. Also, I'd love to support autistics to become SMEs and grow their businesses and things like that, or different projects, whether that's social enterprise or whatever it might be. So from sole traders and startups all the way to networking and going into SMEs or even bigger businesses. And I talk about like things you ought to know. I play on words with ought. So in this case, autistic people, like what would you like the wider society to know about yourself and about autism generally? And I love maybe even experts and family members to say what they would like people to know about autism, and how to help autistic people and that kind of thing. Number three, so helping autistic people to become entrepreneurs, and that kind of thing. And again, think of things that begin with S, like scientists, so I said startups, also helping autistics again to grow businesses from sole traders and startups, sole traders and startups, all the way to SMEs and that kind of thing, as I say, and look at ways they can get funding for support and things like that. I wouldn't want to force any of that sort of thing, but companies might do so for their PR, or even seeing that autistics have strengths that are worth investing in. I'm sure autistic will do. I mean, you get autistic savants. Think about my use of alliterations. I think of like savant, Saturday as well. Autistic savants in this case. Also, I was thinking like things like singers, songwriters, singer-songwriters. So people who are just singers, autistic people who are singers, also autistic people who are songwriters, and autistic people who are both singers and songwriters. I know I talked before about Autism's Got Talent, which I wanted to cover on Tuesday and Thursday, and maybe Monday as well. But again, given my use of alliterations, I think it's a motivational thing. So it could be on Mondays as well, like motivational Mondays. I could have mentioned it, but also on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So like Autism's Got Talent on Tuesdays and Thursdays. As I said before in previous videos, I did admit to being mad. So moving on number 4. So yeah, if you can think of any other areas of empowerment, I suppose a challenge I'd ask for the viewers is like, what words can you think of that begin with S that you could, or even SA, or even SAT, that you can think of for empowering autistics? I think that'd be interesting, and an interesting challenge to come up with ways to empower autistic people that begin with S or SA, or SAT, or whatever, words that could sound like Saturday or whatever, have similar letters to Saturday, or start with similar letters, and say SAT or whatever. How to pronounce that right? But yeah, looking at ways also that autistic people and carers, parents, guardians, and family members and allies and whatever can support. Thinking about singers, a controversial one. I know I read recently that some autistic people don't like the singer Sia, or however you pronounce her name. And I've got to admit, I do like her music. But some people say she's ableist or something. Some controversy I didn't know about, but I must admit, I am guilty of really liking her music. So I know they say she's ableist or whatever. But yeah, not sure why I mentioned that one, but yeah, maybe autistic people could do covers of her song. I don't know if they'd want to, but it would be their choice. I normally say I don't want to force anyone to do anything they don't want to do, so I just merely share my own ideas and suggestions. I know I'm an ideas person. I do struggle to put it into practice. I know yesterday I mentioned about autistic people getting into football or soccer, if you like. I think like soccer Saturdays, and that kind of thing. But moving on, number 5, as I say, support networks that can help autistic people to achieve their ambitions and aims, including the things that begin with S, I would say, preferably for Saturdays. Thinking about specifically, like throughout this week, I've been trying to think of things that could empower autistic people with a different theme for each day. Again, given my use of alliterations, but helping them to set goals and all that kind of thing. I talked about how on Friday, obviously yesterday, I talked about how autistic people, how some say Lionel Messi might be autistic, but there is a debate on whether his various quirks are just him being an introvert. Apparently, that can be mixed up with autism. That's why I do wonder. Maybe I'm just an introvert. I don't know. It could be either way. So I'd love to in the future take a test, as I mentioned recently. I'd love to take a test to see if I do have autism or whatever, and other things like ADHD or whatever. I suppose if I find I don't have certain conditions, I guess I'll know either way. So hopefully not having too many expectations either way. But moving on, number 6, as I say, I'd love to see what autistic people can contribute to Sampdoria, Sassuolo, Salernitana, I guess, Spal, Spezia, and Italian soccer teams generally. I try not to think of three teams like Sampdoria, Sassuolo, and Salernitana because I didn't want it to be the three sixes, but in my quirky patterns and superstitions and whatnot. Yeah, also what autistic people can work on together. I guess many autistic people probably would prefer to be sole traders and work in small teams, or even just be sole traders or whatever. But I think to grow bigger things, it's good to work as a team. Like a lot of time with my quirks, my strangeness, admittedly, my strangeness, like with my writings and things like that. Sometimes I do struggle to sort of network with others. I struggle to be understood. I struggle to network with others. But I do think to achieve great things, a lot of people say that delegation, networking together, and things like that are really important. But yeah, I'd love to see what autistic people could contribute to Italian soccer more generally, even doing like singing to fundraise for Italian soccer, for instance, or even writing songs for Italian soccer, showing support, fundraising for Italian soccer, and supporting in all different ways. Number seven, the same sort of thing with Celtic. I wanted to talk about Celtic. I'm hoping to talk about Celtic tomorrow, even though Celtic played today. I'm hoping the Hibs, and I forgot to check who, as I call them, the rankers, the Rangers are playing. I was supposed to check the Scottish fixture list, but I'm hoping somehow the rankers, as I call them, Hearts or Farts, as I call them, and the rankers, Rangers, I hope both lose tomorrow. That would really give Celtic a great advantage, and hopefully Celtic will win at least one trophy, and hopefully two this season. Shame it couldn't be three because we messed up. We messed up in the final, but yeah, I'd love to see in the future what Celtic could do as a club to work with autistics and vice versa, like autistics playing soccer at Celtic Park, especially at youth level, playing in the training grounds, especially the youth teams, to help them to practice, which hopefully will be a mutual benefit. Again, it will give something for autistic people to do and help autistic people to feel proud, hopefully to benefit Italian soccer and Celtic, and maybe even play against both teams together, like help to practice. But at the same time, hope autistics, by playing there against Celts, will help each other to practice as well. I know the club already does some stuff like that with the charitable work. I hope they'll do, but I hope they'll do even more. And autistic people could also invest into and sponsor Italian soccer teams like Sampdoria, Sassuolo, Salernitana, and teams like that, Spal, Spezia, and whatnot, and also and Roma, and also Celtic. Um, I'd love for Roma to have so many great players, but I don't know if I could convince autistic people to do so, but I suppose it's worth putting the idea out there and seeing what can happen. Number eight, once again, I'd love to see Italian soccer and Celtic working together with the autistic community and vice versa, with individuals and the community at large on the whole, and by and large to see how they can help, like to practice, give autistic people a purpose, help maybe autistic people can be proud and show what they can achieve for Italian soccer and Celtic. So yeah, hopefully Italian soccer and Celtic will benefit, but also autistic people will benefit by being proud and have something to do. I hope that Italian soccer and Celtic can have a partnership and work together as well, and including on other things, but also helping autistic people. I know I talked about the partnership that I'd love to have between Italian soccer and Celtic. As I say, I wonder if, again, I want to take the test, I wonder if I could be autistic in a lot of my ideas and creativity and like out of the box thinking, that even that historically, if you like, or in my life basically, I always attributed to being dyslexic. But I wonder if there's some of that otherworldly ideas or out of the box ideas, unique and strange ideas could work, and maybe even ideas people mock me for could be a lot better than I think. I hope. Anyway, moving on, number nine. As I say, I love to support autistics, singers, songwriters, songwriters, and singer-songwriters. As I said before, like those who are either just singers or just songwriters or both, and scientists And again, I'm trying to think of things, careers that begin with S. But also, as they talk about careers, being empowered to do careers that bring joy and are meaningful, and enjoying um, work and even life while it's still legal. But yeah, I often think of like 9 as a backwards P. It reminds me of a backwards P. So I think of like, again, I wonder if my quirks and strangeness could be autism, or could just be me being a nutter, but harmless nutter, but not nonetheless. But so I thought of like songwriters, I'll say as well for that one. And number 10, also supporting and empowering young autistic people. And on that note, I'm out. Peace and love.